7 a.m, deep in the Putorino bush, Hawke's Bay.
Form a circle, line it up.
For everyone here, this is a day like no other.
Squeeze up tighter, squeeze up tighter, squeeze up tighter.
A guy who was supposed to walk with us, and 3 weeks ago he actually reached out. I know him, I grew up with him.
Wātene's friend took his life last month. Another tāne lost, another Māori suicide.
Firstly, before we get started for today, I would like to take a moment of silence. A brother that was supposed to be joining us today, grew up with Wā, couldn't hold on for 4 weeks. That's how heavy the burden was on his shoulders. So today we pay respects to your brother.
That weight is heavy on us, knowing that he probably he would have been walking with us, and he no longer will be. Which encourages us to just keep spreading this message as much as we can, and as far as we can, and as wide as we can, to as many people, not only men, as we can.
More than 40 have signed up for today's hike into the bush, but it is so much more than that. Men's medicine is about men confronting their pain and their demons. One of those behind it is Wātene.
So there's two reasons why we decided to bring it back to New Zealand. I'm originally here from New Zealand, lived here in Napier most part of my childhood. And the first reason was for me to heal some of my stuff. At Men's Medicine we talk about working from the inside out, and there was stuff that I was still holding on to that I needed to release. So that was one of the reasons for me to come back and release some of the hurt that I've been carrying. And the second reason was I know how much hurt and pain is here in New Zealand, and in particular Hamilton and Napier. I grew up in Maraenui, Napier, which is well known for the gang world and life. I got brought up in a pretty violent world, I guess. And for me to ask other men to be vulnerable, I have to be vulnerable myself. So I like to share that with my brothers, with the men that come on our walks, to give them permission to then open up and share their stuff.
This is anything but a day hike. It's a deeply confronting journey into manhood and finding their better selves. They've come from all over Hawke's Bay.
The reason people are coming to the walk is hurt, and they're running out of options.
With every step, there's a challenge.
Hand up if you have never thought about suicide.
There's real courage in this. Not just opening up to each other, but also opening up on camera.
Stay in the circle if you all stepped in the circle if you thought about it in the last 12 months.
This in particular really hits home for all of us, because we've got men in Men's Medicine who have had suicidal thoughts, and I'll put my hand up and say I'm one of those.
In the last 6 months, in the last 3 months.
It hits home to say, man, what we're doing actually matters.
Stay in the circle if you thought about it in the last 3 weeks.
The raw emotion.
Stay in the circle about it if you thought about it in the last week.
The visceral honesty.
Yesterday, the 4 men that stand in front of you are the reason why the stats are so high. Anyone that put their hand up, anyone that stood inside of that circle, is why.
This is as real as it gets.
Just yesterday, this man was thinking about ending his life. And maybe it's what Men's Medicine is doing, maybe it was a walk, why he held on.
Everyone on the outside circle, hands up if you feel love for the 4 men standing in the middle. Keep those hands up high. These 4 men, I want you to take a look around at the love. Head up, look around, look around. I want you to have a look around at all the hearts that have their hands up.
For many, it's the first time they've ever looked this deeply into themselves.
Yeah, my first time was a pivotal moment. So when I first saw that and one of my bros shared, I had a realization, and then it gave me permission to share and be vulnerable. So super emotional for me, bro. Like, bawled my eyes out, yeah. I felt safe to cry in front of 40 men, and all my life I've tried to be tough, you know. Tattoos to be tough. But coming here doing this gives me permission to be vulnerable and be myself, be soft, be emotional.
Holding on tight.
We come as strangers, we live as brothers.
3 breaths, in, out, in, out, last.
And there's no let up. Next, the invitation to commit pain to paper.
This is where the real work starts. Whatever it is you wrote on that piece of paper, this is where you let go of it. This is where you leave it behind. Heads up, heads up, heads up when I'm talking. Yeah? The kings, your men. Let's act like it, yeah?
Soon will be the invitation to leave it all behind. We're nearing the end of the hike. This is the moment of leaving the past to the past and starting afresh. In the icy waters of Putorino, a great cleansing is taking place. A mighty release. It's almost biblical, a full immersion. It's like a huge weight off their shoulders, and those messages they wrote, they're about to release those as well, by burning them.
What would you say to the people who, and it's like, whoa, this is really different, you know? It is different.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's different.
I've never seen stuff like that before. And I was like, whoa, this is buzzy. But I could feel the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would say to them is come and experience it. If you're a man, come and experience what we do. And it's something that you can't actually put words to. We understand the processes. We're the ones who put this thing together. Sometimes we can't even put it into words and explain to a person sitting across the couch from us, what is this in words? It's something you need to experience. So I'd say to those people, come and experience it. It was a special weekend for me. I know how powerful this medicine is. It's healed me. It's changed the way I think and feel about people and this world. And I've seen it change the way that my very close friends, who very recently were very staunch, withdrawn men. So to bring that medicine back to where I grew up, and then to see that medicine shift these staunch, tough men back in the place that I grew up, meant the world to me.
Tāhua, revolutionary, absolutely beautiful. O tēnei ahau e mihi nei ki a koutou e mātaki mai i te ata nei. Thank you for watching. Nohoro mai.